Welcome to the fourth episode of the Kiki MMA channel, and today we will be doing not really a career deep dive, but just someone I wanted to give some light to, who I personally really like, and I think is very underrated in the world of MMA. And that person is none other than Geoff Neal. I think that Geoff Neal is one of the most fun fighters currently on the active roster, win or lose, and one of the more underrated resumes on the active roster. I'm going to go through it, explain why I think this, and yeah. So, start beginning of his career, he debuted in 2018, won back-to-back fights by first round knockout against a bum, and then beat Frank Camacho via head kick in round two. Both pretty good wins, not a lot. But what really starts the process is the next year, where in his third UFC fight, he beats Bilal Muhammad by 30 27 scorecards all around. And this is like, not a huge fan of Bilal Muhammad. Big deal for me. He beat him badly. I love to see it. It's wonderful to see. He really stands up for the true MMA fans, beats up the people everyone hates. Great to see. Then he wins a fight, knocks out Nico Price, and in a really weird fight, which is really fun. Like there's almost a double knockdown there. It might have been because of a headbutt. I don't know. But he always has really fun fights, and I really respect that. Knocked out Mike Perry, really great win, round one. Then goes on a little bit of a bad stretch, losing to Stephen Thompson badly. I mean, just a 50-45 decision. Lost to Neil Magny as well. Not the best. Probably 29-28 there. I think Neil won round one, but lost two and three. Yeah, I think like that's obviously Neil losing Neil Magny sort of, I guess, sort of test. It was fun. It's funny to see that they fought, given where they're sort of both gatekeepers in a way. It's funny that they fought. And then he won a split decision over Santiago Ponzinibbio, which is semi-impressive, I would say. I think he did win that fight. It was a split decision, but I think he pretty clearly won round two and three. One and three. I think, and then obviously not. I think when his probably maybe most famous one, maybe it's Mike Perry one. He beat Vicente Luque pretty badly, and that's what sort of shot him up the rankings. And that was a really great win. Vicente Luque at the time, if I'm not mistaken, he was on a. Oh, he lost to Bilal Muhammad the fight before that. Before that, he was on a four-fight winning streak, and had won. And he had won 10 of his last 12 fights before the Geoff Neal fight, and was looking really good, especially before the Bilal Muhammad fight. But losing Bilal Muhammad, Geoff Neal doesn't do that. But some people do, and it sort of ruins momentum. But still, he had Vicente Luque was looking really scary. Won three fights in a row against Randy Brown, Tyron Woodley, and Michael Chiesa, both all really fun fights. And then lose to Bilal, whatever, gets smudged. But then Geoff Neal slimes him out bad. And that was such a fun fight to watch. And it's just such a great win for Geoff Neal. I feel like sometimes Sensei Luke hasn't had necessarily the best career, but at the time, that was a very, very good win. And it completely halted the momentum of someone else. And then that's sort of where the highs end. He's lost four of his last five fights, but that really should be three of his last five fights. Because first of all, let's go to this Shavkat fight. That was an absolute war. Low key top 10 fight in the UFC. That's such a fun fight. You should go rewatch that if you have not recently. Um, awesome fight. Geoff Neal probably lost round one and two, and was on his way to losing round three. But it was such back and forth. He almost knocked out Shavkat in round three and was piecing him up for a lot of rounds one and two, landing really good shots. And it sort of, I think if anything, both their stocks went up after, because it sort of showed Shavkat can go in there and handle a really tough fight, which is really impressive. And I think that that's like a really impressive performance. Is not a hot take, just toss him out at this point. Geoff Neal gave Shavkat his hardest fight, and I don't think it's close. I think people would say Ian Garry, because I guess he won two rounds off him. But Ian Garry was never going to win that fight, and was never close to winning that fight. Geoff Neal almost I guess he didn't knock him down, but he wobbled him really bad, and was maybe two or three punches away from knocking him out. And it was knocking his head back and hitting him with really good shots the whole fight. Sadly, lost submission. Crazy fight, absolute war. highly recommend going to watch that. Um, and then in his next fight, he fought Ian Garry in what I think is a massive robbery. And this is probably not very agreed upon. It was a split decision, but I think that Geoff Neal easily won round one and two, and has an argument. And I think he even won round three. I'll say it. I think Geoff Neal won every round of that fight. Fights are, according to the actual judging criteria, should be judged upon damage first. And Geoff Neal landed way more damage and was actually landing his shots. Most of Ian Gary's shots that landed were partially blocked shots, and they counted as landed, which was stupid. And Ian Garry, I don't like Ian Garry. I think that Geoff Neal beat him. He landed outlanded, obviously landed a little bit less strikes, was landing way better leg kicks. All of Ian Gary's body shots were like partially blocked. And Ian Garry had one good knee the whole fight. Geoff Neal was landing constant good punches the whole fight. Geoff Neal won that fight. I will die on that hill. Whatever. Knocks out RDA. It was a leg injury. Whatever. Next fight. Good, decent win. Not taking much away from that. Obviously, then this is sort of where the downfall, where it looks a little bit old. Loses Carlos Ferrazza. Sort of a crazy fight. While it lasted, it was a really fun fight. Got knocked. I think it was a little bit of an early stoppage. Who knows? It was a second left in round one. I think you just let it go to the stool at that point, and if he can't continue, he can't continue. My personal opinion, whatever. And then lost to Uros recently. That was a rough fight to watch. I was really upset about that one. But it was two power punchers going at it. One of them got knocked out. I think it easily could have gone the other way. Whatever, is what it is. He is back in UFC 330 in about a month against Chidian Jukakani, whatever his name is. I can't pronounce it. He's going to knock him out. I think this is like a turning back the clock performance. He's going to look really good. He is, I think, if you like let's say, top 10 boxers in the UFC, I think it's an argument to be on that list. Obviously, people will go with like Peter Yan or whoever, but Geoff Neal, from a pure boxing perspective, without mixing in anything else, is better than almost everyone in the UFC. Could even be top five. And I think that a lot of times we need to appreciate fighters who give us really fun fights. All of Geoff Neal's fights are really, except for maybe the Ian Garry one was not so much fun, but like Geoff Neal constantly putting out great fights, win or lose. He has so much power behind his hands, constantly throwing. He had decent grappling, decent wrestling, so we would get striking fights. I think he is extremely underappreciated. I think as a UFC, as an MMA community, we need to appreciate these guys more. And I hope he seems like a great guy too. So I think we need to appreciate these guys more, and hopefully he succeeds in the rest of his fights for how long, ever long he keeps on fighting. I do have his card, well, to iconic on Reels. So this is not a biased video at all. And that's all I got. So that will do it for the fourth video of Kiki MMA. Please subscribe. I have 0 subscribers up until this point, so whoever's the first can choose a video that I do. That sounds like a fair deal. Thank you very much for watching, and that is it.